Welcome to the second episode of The Cutting Room, here with your host, Damian King, the mass photographer, mass director, mass creative. Let's get right into this second episode entitled Coming to a Grave Near You. Um, when was the last time you went to a movie theater? When was the last time we had a big movie release, Um, Important to the topic today is movie theaters used to be an experience. Growing up, I used to love going to movie theaters. I still do. I still get a kick out of it. But it feels like nowadays it's a very it's a dying experience, man. Honestly, I went to the movie theater the past couple times I went to a movie theater. Not only has it been empty, but it seems like there's no excitement anymore, and it sucks. It's really sad because it used to be a thing to do. It used to be something I look forward to, going with my friends, watching a great movie trailer, getting excited, getting excited to see what was coming out a whole year before. Nowadays, everything's streaming straight to these all these streaming platforms. It kills the excitement. So we're gonna get into that, honestly. What was your earliest movie experience? First movie you went to go see in the theater? One of the earliest movies I got to see as a kid, I remember 1996, The Phantom with Billy Zane. Solomon, can you bring up that picture? Look at that, a stud right there. 1996. It was feels like so long ago, but I remember watching that movie trailer, getting excited to see it. I remember also rest in peace to Treat Williams, who played Xander Drax. He was the bad guy in that movie. If you never checked out Hair, it was a Broadway production that they made into a movie. He also comes out in that movie. It's also a good one. But the double tag team of Hottie of Christy Swanson and Catherine Zeta-Jones. So this movie is based off a comic book. It's probably like the one of the early movies to actually do this. You think Marvel was the first ones to do it? Actually, you're wrong. It was stuff movies like this, The Phantom. I remember watching that movie trailer in the theaters. It was this great shot of Billy Zane holding these two guns, and he was fighting off the bad guys, and he just like shot it like that. It was such a great movie. I'll never forget how excited I walked into this movie. Even more excited I walked out of the movie. When you watch a movie, you I know books are supposed to send you into different world, transforms you, but I think for me, watching a movie does something completely different. It it's just great. It's just great, man. I miss going. I miss going as much as I used to. And if you stop going, honestly, you shouldn't stop. It's a great thing to do. But I remember wanting to go see it, and the last movie I went to go see actually was pretty recently. I went to go see the 20th anniversary of Shrek 2. I saw it about 2 weeks ago, and I've never seen it actually. So I've only seen the first one. So don't hang me. I'm sorry, but at least I went to go see it. And I went to go see it in the movie theater, the way it was intended. So the fact that I've never watched Shrek 2 and that I paid money to go see it re-released in the movie theater, I mean, it's pretty, and it was pretty funny. I'm sorry, I've been missing out all these years. 20 years that I missed out on a great comedy. I'm so sorry. But great cast and everything. And it was such a great experience to do that because you're basically recreating a memory. You're recreating something that a lot of people don't do nowadays. You know, and I love watching movies that are old too. Not only that, but if you're a Star Wars fan, I bet you're excited for the 25th anniversary of Episode One, the re-release. I think it's probably been 12 years since they re-released it. I remember it came out like I think in the 2010s. I forgot what year exactly, but um, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm gonna go watch that too. Uh, and just to watch that in the movie theater again because maybe it's just the ambience. I don't know what it's what is it. I'm trying to figure that out right now. Is it buying the popcorn? Is it the darkened room? I don't know what it is, man. But 25 years of Star Wars Phantom Menace. And I remember the hype. And that's one of my first questions was when was the last time you had a big release? I remember when this movie came out, Phantom Menace, the buzz around it, the fact that they're making another Star Wars movie. But I remember people lining up for like 2 weeks prior to go buy their ticket to go see it. Not the day of. They had a specific release date to buy your ticket months in advance. Like they were like the new sneakers coming out, honestly. Um, and I remember going passing by these movie theaters with people in line the night of, people dressed up. You had Vaders, you had your Luke Skywalkers, you had your Leias, and you had your stormtroopers, and and from the trailer, people did their best to dress up like Darth Maul, one of the most underrated villains of all film, honestly. Um, but yeah, I miss big movie theater. I think what's the next movie that is coming out that we're all excited about? I know the Deadpool 3 trailer just dropped. I know I'm excited for that too because I was there for the first time we got to see Hugh Jackman don the claws as Wolverine, and probably has the longest running tenure as a actor playing a superhero. That's also 24 years, coming out 2 decades. And nowadays you're not even excited. Nowadays, all we have is Marvel. When does it come out on Disney Plus? When does it come out on Hulu? When is it coming out on Amazon Prime? Or like, it's not the same. It's not. You know what I want that. I want to be in line for some popcorn. And I want to have a Coke slushy with me. And I want to be with my friends. And I want to go on a date. When's the last time these guys nowadays, when you're dating nowadays, what's your go-to thing? Take them through a night drive into a view, and then take them to a movie. Um, and I want that dirty carpet. I want to see that dirty carpet that's never been washed. I want that smell. I want to look up at the theaters. I want to see that dated picture of all the celebrities that I think Edwards Theater had. Um, that it's like Tom Cruise. It's I think Will Smith's up there. Um, who else is Jeff Goldblum? It's like they're in front of the of this very Aztec looking Edwards Theater, and I want to look up at that thing and just be taken back to my childhood. What were other big movies that were out? I remember the buzz around Titanic when that first came out. Everyone wanted the soundtrack. Um, man, I know people were excited when Endgame came out, which I think today's actually the fifth anniversary of the release. So 5 years ago, that movie was released. I remember that. I think that's the last big movie event of this modern era. Endgame, seeing all the climactic ending of all these movies that are all connected. And I mean that was pretty good. It was a good one. But it like a lot of things, it just movies theaters and movie releases don't hit like they used to. And I understand nowadays people are very used to fast food style deliverance of everything, and especially with these movies. They want it quick. They want a quick little Big Mac, but I want filet mignon. I want the good stuff. That's what I want. I want quality. I, man, that's what I want, man. I miss that. It saddens me because nowadays families, not even families, there's a lot of people that rely on all these movies that are streamable and watching on their phones, but I think it's something that a lot of families could do to kill time. It's such a family quality time thing to do, to get your family together on a Friday night and go to your local theater. Um, and you don't necessarily have to know what's playing that day, but you just show up, and you know, you might never know that what movie might be coming out that you didn't know about. But it's the risk. It's throwing the dice and seeing what lands. But I know recently I saw this YouTube video. I came across this YouTube video. Um, I don't know the exact title, but it's basically someone had footage of a movie theater going to the movies in 2001. And Solomon, if you do me the favor of running that footage for me. See, look, so we got here, and this is Universal Studios, downtown, or was it downtown Universal Studios? Look at the juggernauts on that. Rush Hour 2, American Pie 2, Jurassic Park 3, psh, monsters. Monster releases that. And that's in one specific weekend. That's crazy, but look at that. And I was watching this footage. I remember the thing that tripped me out was that there's lines for this theater. Middle of the day, probably I don't even know what it's probably. I don't even think it's probably a Friday. It looks like a random Wednesday or Thursday. Planet of the Apes. Wow. Princess Diaries. That's crazy. Eight scary two. Is that probably Scary Movie 2? If this is 2001, Scary Movie 2, yeah, for sure. It's probably Scary Movie 2. Juggernauts, honestly. But yeah, but when I was watching this footage, it's really like a time capsule. That's really what it is. It's awesome. And then a lot. What tripped me out also was that people in this video were buying the popcorn or their tickets. Right? Say, can I get 2 tickets? They give the cashier a 20. They get back like $7 in change. That's another thing that's crazy. That these ticket prices have gone so up. Man, I understand that's probably another reason people could say, well, this is why I don't go to movie theaters. The popcorn and the candy and the sodas and everything's overpriced. Okay, I get it. Yeah, you go to a movie theater, you're gonna be asking for a special or a whole thing, whatever. They got the bundle, and that's $40, $50 down the drain right there. I get it. But isn't that what it's about though? It's not that bad. I mean, and I'm not saying do it every weekend, but every so often, you know. And what other movies are coming out? That was the last movie I went to go see actually. Shrek 2. But yeah, I understand. And another thing, I understand why people don't want to go anymore. It's also a safety thing. Especially after the shootings that happened like in the 2010s, especially with the release of The Dark Knight. Uh, Rise or was it Dark Knight Rises? Yeah, that was the mass shooting in Colorado, I think. But I get it. Safety might be an issue. You never know nowadays. You really never know. And that's a sad thing to say. And I'm not saying risk your safety, whether it's safety of yourself, your family, your loved ones. But there's also alternatives. There's also alternatives. You don't have to always go to an enclosed theater. That might be a worry of yours. There's also alternatives like rooftop theaters. There's rooftop theaters nowadays. I know there's two specific ones that I've been to. They're pretty good experiences. One of them being rooftop cinemas. It's a little more of your upscale side, but not expensive. People think rooftop theater, what is that, like $40, $50 for a ticket? Not at all. I didn't pay that much at all. Even for the drinks, they have alcohol there. They have cool little merch and everything. It's a pretty good experience. One of them, I know one location's in El Segundo, and that's the picture I'm looking at right now. That's the El Segundo location. Right there, I got to see Hocus Pocus. And it's more to El Segundo, so it might be cold. So if you're gonna go during the winter time, be prepared. You can bring your own blankets. You can bring, I think, your own snacks on this one too. It's a pretty good experience. That's the LA one right here. So if you're going for view wise, you want to go on a hot date or whatever, that special someone, this is the perfect place to go. Get that view of downtown Los Angeles. I know I got to see Super Bad at this one. This is pretty funny, man. And it's a good experience because you think like, well, how can you hear the movie? These types of things, these types of places give you their own headphones that you're basically in the movie and you're around this ambience and you're around other people that love films. I know for sure they have 10 Things I Hate About You coming up. I know The Crow. I think it's gonna be the 30th anniversary of The Crow. Um, which is pretty crazy. It's kind of intertwines with like what I talk about wrestling. Um, the Crow is actually what inspired Sting's makeup for the Crow Sting. So there's always something you're gonna learn when you go to these movies that if you've never seen it before and it's like an old movie, some people, why am I gonna go see a movie I can watch at home that I could stream and put up on my TV? I'm like, I guess. But being lazy. Go out. See other places, do other things, something out of the box. And that's and that's what life really about, honestly. And then I hope that this video um kind of inspires or kind of pushes people to do that. because I love films. I love films, and I love getting lost in a good film, in a good movie. Um, some of my favorite films that I've seen in a movie theater, Daredevil, the Ben Affleck Daredevil. I remember when I went to go see that. I remember my dad took me to go see that one, and such a good. He's probably like not into it. He's like, "What the hell is this man in latex?" But I remember going to see Phantom Menace when it came out. I saw that movie like 9 times. I paid 9 times to go see, and I'm actually gonna make it a thing that I'm gonna go see the re-release in the exact same theater that I got to see it in for the first time. It's also the same one I saw the very first X Men. What better place to do it than there? But yeah, alternatives. There's also a street food. Think what was it? Street Food Cinema. I think that's another website you guys could look up if you want to do like a picnic style movie theater. That one has it's a little more family orientated. If you're not gonna take a love date or somebody special to an outside movie, Street Food Cinema has like lunch trucks. They order like a whole block of lunch trucks, different varieties of foods. And those are actually pretty cool. It's a little more better of a fan experience because I got to go see the Back to the Future with Street Food Cinema, and that one they had members of the cast. I think the day that I went, they went to. I think they brought in the original girlfriend of Marty McFly. I know Mayor Wilson, Mayor Goldie Wilson was also there. They did a Q and A prior to the movie. It was pretty cool. That's just a good ambience. How are you? And then that one for sure, you could bring your own like beach style seats, park seats, and everything. You bring your own food. I remember last time I think I went to go see Dazed and Confused at the Hollywood Cemetery location, and that one I bought like Tommy's, and I had my own alcohol. It's pretty fun, and I got to see Dazed and Confused out and about. Everyone was smoking weed, everything. I mean, what better way to watch that opening shot by Linklater's great film Dazed and Confused of Aerosmith's opening tune, and what better way to watch that film than outside in Hollywood, in LA, outside of your home. Get out of your home. Go experience this. It's and some people call baseball America's pastime. This is a hell of a pastime that I wish isn't going extinct because being in a movie theater on a Friday, Saturday night, or even going for an early bird. There's that option too. There's cheaper prices if the earlier you go. But being in that ambience, being in that location, being around that, there's places that have arcades. You know, it's like going back to a part of your childhood that you will never get back anymore. You can't go back. But I think the only place you could ever feel like that again is in these locations, these places, these movie theaters, whether it be Edwards, whatever you grew up on, whatever it was AMC, Regency, Edwards, whatever it was, whatever's your poison. I miss that. And don't let that die. Please don't let that die. It's such a beautiful thing. And I miss going to the theater, the lights going dim, them putting up a trailer, you talking about it, looking away at your friends and be like, "Did you see that? Are we gonna go see it?" Waiting a whole year and being there on that midnight release. And people don't do that anymore, man. That sucks. And I wish, I wish people would do that more often, honestly. But let's see what else we got here. What's on the topics today? We got the rooftop cinemas, everything. Um, but yeah, I think that's everything I hit on that topic for coming to a grave near you, and that's a pretty. If you think of that title, it says a lot that it's a dying thing. But what else we got? I think I'm gonna hit you with some pickup shots, some pickup news for the week. Those things that happened this week. I know. I ate up my own words when I said I wouldn't order any. Well, I wasn't gonna order AEW's pay per view Dynasty, which I ended up doing, and I don't regret it. AEW is always done good with their pay-per-views. Even though programming is not all that great, the Dynasty delivered. We have Swerve Strickland as our new AEW World Champion. Also, Trick Williams won the NXT World Championship same week. Seems kind of suspicious, doesn't it? But also, we got the draft going on right now. I know the Bloodline, Tamatanga, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa have been drafted to SmackDown. So I guess the Bloodline story is now going to shift to SmackDown instead of Raw. So I think Cody's going to be picking up the weight on Raw with whatever he's got going on. I know AJ Styles is going to be his first opponent at Backlash. I think in Paris. I think is the location for SmackDown for Backlash coming up. And a lot of people think that's kind of weird, right? AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. I don't know. There's so much history there in all angles. Let's see, because not only are they former Bullet Club members in Japan, but Cody actually no, Dusty actually wrestled AJ Styles in the early days of TNA. If you want to YouTube that match, it's I'm pretty sure TNA uploaded it. Want to check that out? I think it was in 2003, 2004, one of the early days of TNA. AJ Styles versus Dusty Rhodes for the NWA World Title. So there's history. So I hope they kind of use that in their story. I know AJ right now is working heel, which is going good for him. I know Dominic Mysterio is out on injury. He has the Tommy Jones surgery on his elbow. He injured his elbow. I don't know if it was during a match or during a segment, but he's gonna be out. I think that usually lasts about 9 months, but I think because he doesn't pitch, it's gonna be a quicker recovery time from what I read. I know on the Dynamite AEW side, what, I mean, where can we start? I know Tony Khan took his first bump, and I'm not talking about the bad stuff. He took a TK driver from the Young Bucks, and he took a microphone to the chest, knocked him completely out. That he took from Jungle Boy, and I know that he's keeping kayfabe. He wore that neck brace at the NFL draft last night. And his dad actually came out during that ending segment of Dynamite. He came out super mad. You know what's so funny? I don't believe Tony Khan whatsoever, whether he's mad, whether he's selling. I don't believe that man for a second. But the moment I saw his dad looking over at the elite, I believe that man way more than I do Tony. That man had a face like, this is where all my money is going. This is what my son spends it on this. It was, I don't know, man. I think I prefer his dad being an on-screen personality over Tony, honestly. And that's just an idea. Um, what else we got on I know AEW's coming to LA soon. They just announced the locations for the upcoming pay-per-views. They announced for Forbidden Door. They announced it. I mean, All In Wembley is coming to Wembley again. I know I'm gonna be watching that. WWE is coming to LA as well in September. I want to say in Ontario. But other news, let's see some pickup shots. I'm gonna pull out my phone and see what's on the feed, so we can wrap things up. But another thing is, if you guys are liking my stuff here, you guys are loving this content, help me make it successful. Subscribe, tell your friends, anybody that is into wrestling, movies. They go in hand in hand, and I know my next episode is going to be about that. You wonder, why wrestling and movies? What do they have to do with each other? My next video will answer that question. I won't tell you the title, but when it drops, which I'm hoping next week as well, I'm trying to make this a weekly thing. I'm trying to give you that content constantly. Okay, I'm not trying to leave you guys high and dry, but I'm gonna explain to you why they go hand in hand and how they inspire each other. One of the things I talked about today was the Phantom Billy Zane film. What would that have to do with wrestling? Well, if you really go back and look at your history, the famous match between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio at Halloween Havoc in WCW, that famous gear, that purple gear he wore, what do you think? What do you think? Just wore that for, That's inspired from Billy Zane's Phantom. Look at that. He even has the belt. He even has the skull belt on it. He wore that mask hanging off his thing because how that mask is connected to his suit. Um, it was a mask versus title match, so the mask has to be ripped off. But instead, he just wore one right there on his neck, so it could be pulled off. Because I mean, it's kind of hard to like work in that gear. But and again, let me look at my feed. Let's see what we got here. Current news. What's happening nowadays in the world of wrestling? Tony Khan, another shot at WWE. WWE is the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling. Awesome. That's yeah, real professional, Tony. Real nice. Let's see. We got the draft. We got Bianca Belair to SmackDown, Jey Uso to Raw, Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes has been drafted to SmackDown, no longer on NXT. I know he did the work for Trick Williams. He did the job, did business, and lost to him in that cage match last week. It was pretty good. Seth Rollins, Raw. Okay, pretty good. Let's see what else we got. Oh man, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee beats Angel and Berto. All right, I guess. If you guys want to check out more interviews, other stuff, I know Jinder Mahal just dropped the interview with Chris Van Vliet because he was released from WWE. I know WWE had more releases. They released another guy. I forgot his name, but it was a pretty emotional release. Because I guess they had told him days prior that he'd always have a job with WWE, and that's something people need to understand about pro wrestlers. Is that you think just because they're signed to one company that they have to stay there? That's not the thing. These guys are independent contractors. Whether they be switching over back and forth, it's good for them. If it's good business, it's good for them. It's good for their livelihood. But yeah, we'll just wrap it up right there. Like I said, if you like this content, please subscribe, tell your friends, share it, whatever, and then I'll have more of a. I'll be putting up my Instagram page, working on my website. I'm working on my all my stuff, all my platforms as I go. But for right now, subscribe to that YouTube channel, the Cutting Room Podcast with Damien King, your mass creative. I also do photography. I'm gonna start doing my photography again, so I'm gonna be sharing that as well. When I start doing bookings, I'll be letting you guys know once I get all my stuff in order. But I hope you like this episode. You know, coming to a grave near you, the death of movie theaters. And I hope you don't let that die. 'Cause I know I'm not. I'm still gonna be going to these big movie releases. Whether it's an old movie, whether it's a new movie, I'd rather watch that in the theater. The way it was intended. The way these movie directors, these film directors wanted it to be watched. They didn't spend months, years prepping these films, these artistic, creative experiences, just so it could be enjoyed out of the comfort of your phone in your house. It wasn't intended for that. I know Christopher Nolan didn't do that. I know that saddens him. Guys like Christopher Nolan, guys like Paul Thomas Anderson, guys like Steven Spielberg, all these guys. I know for sure. I know George Lucas didn't intend for this to happen, but let's just keep it alive. Let's keep theaters alive. Don't let it die. So I'll leave you guys with that, and I hope you guys have a good day. And until the next time, I bid you adieu, good night, and goodbye. Bang.